In this video, we're going to be focusing on how can we exaggerate and fix that curve we're supposed to have in our low back. So in other words, if you're one of those people that has a flat low back, and then because of that, it's compressing discs down there. So if you've ever had a herniated disc in your low back, if you've had a bulging disc in your low back, this is the exercise for you. And then generally speaking, this is a good practice because 90% of America loses the proper curve in their low back. So this exercise is using the muscles that are alongside your spine and your low back to contract, and you're doing an isometric muscle hold to exaggerate and improve that curve in your low back. So the demonstration on this, very, very simple. You're gonna sit ideally on your mobility cushion. If you don't have one, you can still do this on a chair. It's just gonna be harder to feel the movement in your hips. You need to be able to rock your hips forward. So this exercise, your knees are going to be at close to a 90-degree angle, close to shoulder width apart for width there, and then you're going to use your hands, grab your knees, and your fingers are going to come down across the front part of the leg, because you're actually going to be using your hands as a leverage point to pull your legs backwards into the direction of your hips. So he's pushing his knees basically backwards, and then at the same time of doing that, you'll recall on your low back warm-up exercises, how you can rock your hips forward. You're gonna use the pelvic wedge to do the exact opposite motion, where you're gonna rock your hips forward, basically trying to push your knees back into your hands. So they're opposing actions. And these opposing actions, very simply, are gonna allow us to exaggerate that curve in the low back. And when you do an isometric muscle hold properly, again, you should feel some like shaking. So you go ahead and go back to a relaxed position. So bring your feet a little closer to one another, and then go ahead and grab the knees. You're gonna pull back in this direction. At the same time, try and force and rock your hips forward so that you're getting that nice arced curve in the low back. And last point on this is he's gonna be bringing the shoulder blades together behind him and looking up to the sky. He's really gonna feel that right down there in the low back. So this is your lumbar extension exercise, or how to restore that nice booty that you should be having down there and get that low back curve.